You are now witnessing the moment where Brianna Liston of LSU ran her first 60-meter dash of the 2025 season. She's the reigning NCAA champion in that event, and then reminded everybody by running the fastest time in all of college this season. The only problem is, one of her teammates ran even faster later in that same meet. But before I get into all that, allow me to make it clear why I make these videos. Because college track and field at its highest level is just as competitive as the professional level. For that matter, it's Olympic level. But it's nearly impossible to follow it, even if you wanted to. It's just that impossible to try to piece it all together. Which is why I decided to bring it to you every single week of the season. So this is what really happened during one of the craziest weeks on the track throughout the entire indoor college season, where we saw collegiate leaders and a collegiate record and some of the biggest battles you're ever going to get during the regular season. And remember, I choose to focus on performances that are projected to have a large impact on who's going to win the NCAA title, both individually and as a team. Because if that is really what you want to do, you should know by now who exactly you need to beat in order to pull it off. And I have to get started on the ladies' side. And as far as the 60-meter dash is concerned, we have a new collegiate leader. And we waited a while to get this one, because Tima Godbless of LSU ran 7.08 seconds, which is only surprising when you remember that her teammate Brianna Liston ran 7.13 seconds, which, when you run all the conversions on the leaderboards, would have been tied for the collegiate lead after this weekend. Brianna is the reigning NCAA champion indoors in that event, but Tima didn't run indoors last season. She just happened to show up outdoors and make the NCAA final in both the 100 and the 200. So yes, she is legit. India Mayberry of TCU is still on the boards, and Jaden Mays of Oregon and Victoria Cameron of Tarleton State duked it out in New Mexico, which I watched live, in order to prepare for the big dance. But none of that really matters, because all of these women are going to have to lane up, and only one of them can come away with the national title. Which brings me now to the moment where anybody who actually follows college sprinting has been waiting for, because Jamezia Ford has officially run a 200-meter dash this season. And yes, she is now the new collegiate leader in that event, because why wouldn't she be? She's the reigning NCAA champion from last season as a freshman, and still one of the nation's best in the 400 right now. But Nisha Berger of UTEP also ran incredibly fast in the 200, so at least for right now, she is right behind Jamezia Ford on the leaderboards. And moving on to the 400, Isabella Whitaker of Arkansas ran even faster than she already had to lower her collegiate lead. The only problem is, Olympian Aaliyah Butler from Georgia ran even faster. So she is now the collegiate leader, again in that event. And to keep the same trend going, the reigning NCAA champion indoors in the 800 is Juliet Whitaker, who just hit the track and ran a new collegiate lead in that event. Because why wouldn't she? But the highlight of the weekend had to be where the collegiate record for the mile on the women's side went down. Zion Ieldes of Oregon is now the collegiate record holder in that event. She ran that time at Boston U, because apparently everybody breaks records over there, where 3 more women ran what would have been the collegiate lead in that event right behind her. Yet all the way on the other side of the country, BYU sent their fast women in the 3K up to the University of Washington, where they went 1-2 in their event and 1-2 on the collegiate leaderboards, because they have it like that. Remember, BYU is also the reigning cross-country national champions. And this is the reason why. And over in the pole vault, Amanda Mall of the University of Washington decided that being one of the collegiate leaders wasn't good enough for her. So now, she is at the top of those leaderboards. Yet I cannot fail to recognize the collegiate leads that seem to keep flip-flopping, because Winnie B of Texas A&M is now the triple jump collegiate leader, and she took it by half an inch, while Kayla Dove of Houston decided that the shot put lead should now belong to her. But if you're new here, I want to say thank you for even making it this far into the video. And I'm Coach Rob, the founder of SCArecruiting.com, where I rank the best track and field recruits across the entire nation. And if anything that I say actually connects with you, it is always greatly appreciated if you would please like and subscribe. But if I don't, just let me know in the comment section, because I try to read them all. Moving on to the men's side, the 60-meter dash is still continuing to heat up, because everybody is chasing after JC Stevenson's collegiate lead of 6.50 seconds. But they're also getting dangerously close, because Ibrahim Foussini, who runs for Ghana but now represents East Texas A&M, which is actually in D1 and recently changed their name, went 6.51 seconds, as fast as you can possibly go without being the collegiate leader in that event. But Nigerian Olympian Kenyon Sola Ajayi of Auburn also ran 6.51 seconds in that event. Just keep in mind, Auburn also had freshman Israel Okon go 6.52 seconds, right behind him. So yes, their sprint program is clearly coming back with just as much firepower as it did last season. And that is the same team that just lost their fastest sprinter to transfer in the middle of the season, Favor Ashe. I say all that because Auburn wasn't done. Olympian Makarawu from Zimbabwe went out and took the collegiate lead indoors in the 200, and he didn't just take it, he made sure that you're going to have to go a whole lot faster if you want to take it from him. He went 20.16 seconds, one of the fastest times ever recorded in a college uniform. And he kinda had to, because his teammate from Zimbabwe, who now runs for Kentucky, is Carli Makarawu, and he lowered what would have been the collegiate lead, going 20.31 seconds in the event. I have said it before, and I'm going to say it again. You are not going to win a 200 meter this year, either indoors or outdoors, without going through an Olympian in order to get it. And after all that, we finally have the first man in college to break the 45-second barrier in the 400. It's Nathaniel Ezekiel, who runs for Baylor. And if you don't recognize that name with the 400, there's likely a reason. Because he was at the NCAA Championships outdoors, running in the 400 hurdle final. But now he's a threat to win a gold medal, indoors in the 400. And because they love to run fast over at BU, Chidoda Matsada of Georgetown decided it was his turn to be the 800 meter collegiate leader. And the time he put down is one of the fastest we've ever seen in a college uniform. That doesn't just make him a favorite to win the event. Remember, he is still an underclassman, and now on collegiate record watch. But for quite a few weeks now, the name at the top of the leaderboards for the 60 hurdles had not changed. But Malachi Snow, who now runs for Texas Tech, decided it is his turn to be at the top. He's one of the most versatile athletes that we have in the NCAA, between the sprints and the hurdles. But the only thing that really matters right now is you ain't winning a national title if you can't go through him. And as far as the shot put is concerned, Tariq Robinson O'Hagan was the best thrower in college last season. So the fact that he came back this year, it shouldn't be a shock that yes, he's still at the top of the leaderboards. But you have to understand, he has now put out 4 different performances this season alone, that each of which would have been the collegiate leader in that event. So basically, it looks like he's going to win the shot put, barring something catastrophic. Everyone else is really just competing for second place. I could be wrong, but I doubt it. With conference championships kicking off in less than 2 weeks, I really don't expect any big performances going into the next weekend, because most coaches don't really want to get their athletes hurt that close to the championship meet. But if winning something at the NCAA championship meet is actually a part of your plans, you're going to have to step it up by the time that conference meet is over. Just remember that the only real difference between college track and field and professional track is that they put the 4 letters NCAA on it. The lanes on the track don't discriminate. They don't care what uniform you're wearing or what conference you compete for. As a matter of fact, they don't even care if you're an Olympian. The only thing that matters is when the lights are on, it is time to perform. And clearly, these athletes have already proven that they all have what it takes to get the job done. If you think you need help getting recruited, you are probably right. On SCArecruiting.com, you can get a ton of resources, like my free recruiting guide, detailed videos, online courses, and much more. And if nothing else, and you just really want to see more content like this, it is always greatly appreciated if you would please like and subscribe.